We recorded sound, just not the picture. Okay, let's make sure. Yeah, we're back.
And we
Okay,
got the first part recorded though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we had a few technical difficulties apparently with the recording apparatus, so we're going to continue. As I said, the first case is case A. That's case CE -16-001276. The alleged violation is allowing occupancy of a premise with no water or electric service. Who's here to speak to that today? Mr. Orioles, anyone else here to speak to that? All right, come forward, Mr. Orioles. Would you step on up here, if you would, sir? Would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you are about to give shall be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
State your full name for the record.
James C. Orioles,
And your position with Oviedo?
Code Enforcement Officer.
Okay, sir. What do you have on this case, Mr. Orioles?
Your Honor, case number 16-001276, as Your Honor has already mentioned, it's for allowing the occupancy of a residence with neither water nor power. I have 15 pages of evidence to present to Your Honor, if I may approach.
Yes, well, please do. All right, give me just a second to take a look at this.
Sir.
You say it's 15 pages, Mr. Orioles?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. 15 pages will be introduced into evidence. All right, go ahead.
On July 14th, or actually on July 13th, we received a complaint from neighbors that there was a gentleman living in this home and had not had power or water in several years. We did an inspection and ascertained that, in fact, it was a gentleman named Mike that I have seen over the years several times who was living in the house, and it does not have utilities.
And his name was what?
Mike. I don't know what his last name is.
Okay.
The first document Your Honor will see is the property appraiser sheet showing that the property is in fact owned by Patricia Radowski. We have sent all the notices to her as per law. She has not responded to anything that we sent. The second document is the 5 codes that we allege that the respondent has violated by allowing the occupancy of a home with no power or water.
And that's a violation of International Property Maintenance Code?
Yes, sir, it is.
Which has been adopted by the city?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
The next 2 documents are just pictures of the front of the house, Your Honor. I was not allowed entrance into the house, just so that Your Honor can get an idea of what the house does look like. We sent a notice of violation on July 14th that had the correction date of July 24th. Next 2 documents, a certificate of mailing, and the next document is the return letter that came back undelivered. We sent out a second notice of violation as far as Section 162. We posted City Hall, we posted the property, we mailed it first class. And the next document is our affidavit of service showing that we did in fact do what is required by Florida Statute 162. The next document is a copy of Section 12, Chapter 162, which shows that we are allowed to post and says evidence an attempt has been made to hand deliver or mail notice is provided with proof of posting is provided shall be sufficient to show that the notice requirements of this part have been met with regard to whether or not the alleged violator actually received the notice. On August 26th, we did another inspection of the property. Again, I talked to Mike. Again, he admitted to me that there was no power or water in the house. And again, he admitted to me that he was living on the premises. We sent an affidavit of violation and request for hearing. Those are the next 2 items. The certified mail, well, we did attempt to send certified mail. However, again, we posted the property, we posted City Hall, and sent first class to the respondent. We have not heard from the respondent at all. Yesterday, I went out and spoke to Mike again and asked him if he had intended to be at this meeting today. He said that he would not. And he related to me that he was planning on moving out of the structure today. and said that he had been in contact with the lady who runs the Vine, which is a social organization, social service organization here in the city, well known, right across from the Baptist Church. And he said that she had made arrangements for him to find a place to live in Orlando where he was going to be getting rehabilitation and help. I went and talked to Cindy, the director of the Vine, and she in fact affirmed that the gentleman will be moving out of the house at noon today. I asked him if the house would be made secure, and he said that it would. The door does appear to be able to be secured, and the windows are not broken. So he said the house would be secured and he would be out of it, and Cindy affirmed that he will be out of the house by noon today. What we would request for Your Honor is to find that this house was in non-compliance after the original date of correction, and that any such reoccurrence of the violation will be considered a repeat violation that we can bring directly back to Your Honor.
All right. First, I find that all notices required by law have been given, and the requirements of Chapter 162 of the Florida statutes have been met. Some questions, Mr. Oriole. I see that the owner is apparently Patricia A. Rodowski, and she shows a Lake Pickett Road address. Does anyone know if she actually lives at that address?
No, sir, we do not. I asked Mike if his sister was going to come to the hearing today. He said he was not aware that she was going to come. I didn't ask where she lived.
Is that Mike's sister, as far as you know?
Yes, sir. It is absolutely her sister. I've talked to several neighbors, 4 or 5 neighbors, as a matter of fact, about over the months about the problem, and they all affirmed that yes, it was her sister. It used to be, it was their parents' house. Mike was obviously evidently raised in that house, and when the parents died, it went to one sister, and then there was a big family squabble. It went to another sister, and that Mike has just been a kind of a lost soul. He had a family tragedy in his own life, and has had an alcohol problem for years, and just kind of squats in the house.
What's he been doing for water and electric?
Electric has not been doing anything. I mean, I've seen candles on the table. As I walk up to the house, you can see the front window is open, and there's candles on the table. There's a battery-operated, little plastic battery-operated fans in there. As far as sanitary conditions, I have no idea. I've been to the front door and didn't smell anything bad when he opened the door, but I've not been able to go in the house, and nor would I have any reason to go in the house.
Okay. All right. I'm sort of mystified as why the sister would not respond. All right. Thank you. All right. I'm going to find that there is a violation of the International Property Maintenance Code as adopted by Article 4, Section 14-70 of the Municipal Code of Oviedo. Going to assume for the moment that Mike is indeed going to be moving out at noon today, but there has definitely been a violation. Technically, I could impose a fine of up to $500 a day. For each day would be a separate day. Obviously, that's not going to serve a purpose. I am going to impose a fine of $200 on the owner of the house. And should it not be brought into compliance, the order will provide that any other further violations will be repeat violations, which could subject them to double the fines provided for in the ordinance, which would be sizable. Anything else on this item?
No, sir.
Okay. Any further relief that the city is seeking at this time?
No, sir.
All right. Next item on the agenda. Case CE 16-001430. Respondent is M.I. Homes of Orlando, LLC. The property in question is located at 575 Foster's Grove Loop, Oviedo, parcel number 1121315180000430. The alleged violation is displaying of 2 signs and attention-getting devices, balloons, without first obtaining permits. Who is here to speak to this item? All right, who else? All right, will you both come forward? Anyone that's going to speak to this, please come forward. All right, would you both raise your right hand? Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you shall give today shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. First, we'll start with Mr. Orioles, and then we'll get with you, sir. All right. Mr. Orioles, what do you have to present?
Good morning again, Your Honor. Jim Orioles representing the city in case 16-000-1430, 575 Forces Grove Loop, violation of 14.5A, sign violation 14.8B, attention-getting devices. I have 26 pages of evidence to present, Your Honor, if I may approach.
Yes.
I've given that same
This
packet to
you seen this package?
Yes, sir.
All right. 26 pages will be received into evidence. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Orioles.
The first item, Your Honor, is the property appraiser sheet's own ownership of the property. The second sheet is the 2 alleged violations, city code. On August the 4th, the initial inspection was made. Your Honor will see there's pictures of the 2 signs that were put up without permits and the attention-getting devices that were on the corner. And you can't really see those. There's one in front. They're in the corner of the property with the balloons. We sent a notice violation on August 5th, asking for compliance by August 15th. The next item, Your Honor, you see is a certified mail receipt. And the following item is the green card that was signed for. We re-inspected on August the 16th, and the 2 signs were still there. Attention-getting, as a matter of fact, there were more attention-getting devices placed up at that time. They had added more to them.
So, again, you lost me there.
Okay.
The original sign was still up that had been there on August 4th.
The original sign, the two large signs were still up, and they had added more attention-getting devices.
This is after they'd been noticed a violation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so go ahead.
We sent a second notice of violation on August 17th, asking for compliance by August 27th. You'll see the certified mail receipt for that notice, and that was also signed for on August 19th. We went back out to re-inspect on August 30th, and there were still attention-getting devices, and 2 signs, you can see by the pictures, were still up. The added attention-getting devices were still up. On August 30th, we sent out a affidavit of violation request for hearing. See a certified mail receipt for that, Your Honor, and the green card that was signed for that. After that notice violation was signed for, it was the first time we heard from anybody from MI Homes. They called and basically asked what was going on. They were told, and the next day their sign contractor called us and asked us if there was any way the hearing could be avoided. We told her no. And we advised her strongly that it would be our advice to get the property into compliance before it came before Your Honor. As you can see this morning, the attention-getting devices have been removed, but the 2 large signs are still there in violation. The property has been in continued violation for 45 days since the receipt of the first notice of violation. And the last item I have for Your Honor is reference to another case number 15-000-48 from February 3rd of 2015. MI Homes was cited for the same exact violations on another project that is Allens Landing off of 419. And we went through basically the same process. They waited until they got the notice of hearing, and that time they needed to correct the violations after notice of hearing.
That was a different property, but
Different
same
property,
violation.
different property, same violation. So MI Homes and their contractor is, I believe, fully aware of the sign regulations of the City of Oviedo.
How much would a permit have cost them?
I think $35.
And in what periods of time are those permits granted?
The temporary real estate sign would have no expiration until the certificate of occupancy for that model home would be issued. The attention-getting devices, they could only have for 17 days.
Okay. And would that have been all the same permit?
No, so there have been two separate permits, I believe.
And how
Each
much was the
$35.
attention in getting
Each
device?
$35.
All right, anything else, Mr. Oriole?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, representative for the respondent. First, state your name and address, please, sir.
Ted Estes, Ted Robert Estes.
Give it to me again.
Ted Robert Estes.
Ted,
Robert,
R-O,
B-E-R-T, Estes, E-S-T-E-S.
I'm sorry.
Estes, E-S-T-E-S.
Okay, Ted Robert Estes.
Yes, sir.
And your address, Mr. Estes?
Well, in my home's office.
Well, your business address.
Yeah, 400 International Parkway, Suite 470, Lake Mary, Florida. I think it's
Suite again.
Oh, sorry, Suite 470.
That's Lake Mary.
Yes, sir. 32746.
And what is your role with MI?
I am a senior area construction manager. I'm also the license holder for building permits.
And you're senior
Construction manager.
construction manager. All right, go ahead, sir. What do you have to present?
Well, obviously, these notices are been sent and well documented. I see this. I can only speak in this is a different department, and I see that and I concur that they were sent to our proper address, and therefore misrepresented and dealt with. That's really why we're here. I mean, unfortunately, it's not in my department, but it's our, I'm here as representative of my homes, that we made those mistakes, and just here for the representative of the broker. That's his department to deal with the marketing department.
Have you been able to find out why there was no response to the notices?
I see that it was two, it isn't just one. So for me, my boss, vice president of operations, said, "Hey, what's up with this?" And I said, "This is the first I'm hearing about it," and he thought it was something in regards to building and construction, and so I'm shocked that we had two. I see the person who signed it was a receptionist, so I can only speak intelligently enough that obviously they didn't get the permits that they needed. The signs were up, and
The signs are still up as of this morning.
I guess so, yeah. And
Okay.
this department was well aware of because obviously they went through it the first time with that All Ends Landing subdivision that we have. So I had thought by now that they had done their proper due diligence or permits. I guess you're saying that they're not now? I don't know. So.
The signs are still up, Mr. Oriole?
No permit filed or anything?
No permit, sign still up.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
That's
And
disappointing.
apparently MI has a history of having done this at other properties.
Obviously, with Oviedo, as far as I don't know, I can't speak intelligently for the other counties or like that or
Well,
cities.
it seems to me that MI needs to get some system in place to get these permits. It's a big outfit. In light of just the fact that for whatever reason MI has ignored the notices of violation, and with this the same property, they would be subject to doubling of the fines. But as it is, I'm going to fine MI $100 a day for 45 days. That's $4,500. And that should be paid, it will be paid next door here.
Okay.
And one of these gentlemen can tell MI where to pay it.
Okay.
But that's what my order is going to provide. And should there be a repeat offense, or should those signs not be taken down, and it comes back before me, I'm going to double those fines. I may do more. I could fine MI $500 a day.
Right.
And where I find that a violation is flagrant and the warnings are ignored, I'm tempted to do just that.
Sure.
So please convey to the people in your
Yep.
operation that if this comes back, it's going to be very expensive.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, the next case, case C, is case number CE 16-001292. Involves property at 537 Oak Street, Florida, 32765. Respondent, Caleb Carlson, 537 Oak Street, Oviedo, Florida, 32765. The alleged violation is parking jet skis between the front building line of the house and the street. Who is here to speak to that today? Mr. Orioles, all right. Would you step forward, please? Would you raise your right hand? You solemnly affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
Again, Your Honor, Jim Orioles representing the city, case number 16-000-1292, 537 Oak Street, violation of 4.11B2 City Code, parking a jet ski between the front building line and the house and the street. I have a packet of evidence, Your Honor, 22 pages to present, Your Honor, if I may approach.
Yes. Is there anyone here to speak to this today other than Mr. Orioles? All right. These will be received in evidence. All right, go ahead, Mr. Orioles.
First page, Your Honor, is the property appraiser sheet showing the property is in fact owned by Caleb W. Carlson. And the next sheet is the applicable code 4.11B2. On July 13, 2016, we noticed the jet ski parked between the front building line of the house and the street. We had been to this address several times, Your Honor. There was a property owner mix-up. The property appraiser had the property listed to someone else. So we sent notice to the wrong person for a while back in June. There was a big trailer on the property and this jet ski. We finally got the information that we needed. We got the right person, and so we sent notices this time to the right person. But this is what we found on July the 13th. It was the jet ski parked between the front building line of the house and the street. We sent a notice of violation on July 14th. You'll see the certified mail receipt, and that was, in fact, the green card was signed for. On July 28th, we went to reinspection. The jet ski was still in the same position. Those next two pictures show you it was still there. We sent a second notice of violation on July 29th, asking for correction by August 8th. Again, we have the certified mail receipt, and this time, however, the letter was returned. So on August the 11th, we sent another second notice of violation, but this time we posted the property. We sent it. We attempted to send it certified, but also sent it first class, posted the property, and posted City Hall as allowed by Florida State Statute 162. And Your Honor will find the affidavit of service for that posting and mailing. The next document is the Section 12 of Chapter 162 that shows we're allowed to post the property to get service.
All right, I'm going to find, as a threshold matter, that the requirements of Chapter 162 Florida statutes has been met regarding notice. All right. Go ahead.
On the 22nd, we went out and inspected again, Your Honor. You can see the two pictures there where the jet ski was still there. Hadn't been moved. We made out an affidavit of violation request for hearing, and we did mail it certified. However, knowing that we would probably not attain service that way, I hand-delivered it to a resident over 16 years old at the residence. It was accepted.
Did they say anything when you delivered it?
A young lady just, thank you very much.
Okay.
Your Honor, the next item, Your Honor, is the photograph that was taken this morning at 7:55, showing the jet ski is still in the same location. This property has been in continuous violation of this ordinance for 69 days since the original violation. Notice violation was received. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Orioles. going to be a big bill. Do we have any idea at all why these people are non-responsive, or they just don't care?
No, sir. The renters are in the property. The renters told me that the jet ski belongs to the landlord. And I'd asked them, is he planning on this? Oh, he's going to take care of it. He's going to take care of it. They always say that, but it's college students who are renting the house.
So the jet ski belongs to the landlord.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have we sent any notices to the landlord?
He sent all the notices. He uses that as his legal address. And we've served hand-delivered and postal property. The neighbors, I've asked neighbors about him, and they said, yes, he comes in and out of it all the time. I have no idea why he doesn't come to the file.
So we know for certain that they were there on the days that you inspected. How many times did you inspect?
At least 4. I can't do it. Counting this morning, 4.
How many?
4.
This is a little bit different sign. The sign is there. Jet ski, they can move from day to day. So I guess we can't really say that the jet ski was there on the days other than you inspected. Going to fine them for $250 a day for 4 days. That's $1,000. And should there be a repeat offense, they will be subject to repeat violation. All right. Anything else on this item?
No, sir.
All right. Next item, last item is case. It's an old case. Case CE 16-000315 involves property at 231 Vine Street, Oviedo, Florida 32765, parcel ID 10-21-31-503 0000 and 0400. The owners are James L. Larson and Janice E. Larson as co-trustees for the benefit and use of J.L. and J.E. Larson. This is actually an item that was heard by us back on June 30th. At that time, we gave the property owners until September 22 to bring the property into compliance, and I assume that this is either to report on the progress or that there has been a continuing violation. Who's going to present this for the city?
I am.
All right, would you step forward, Mr. Orioles? We're wearing you out today.
Sure,
Raise your right hand.
I'm sure my boss will let me off early.
You solemnly affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Orioles.
As Your Honor has already stated, this case came before you in June. This for several violations. Most heinously, a dilapidated house that had been sitting there for quite a few years. I have 12 pages to give Your Honor on this case of my approach, and I've also supplied the same packet to Mr. Lawson.
All right.
All we really have for Your Honor is the findings of fact, conclusions of law and order, which stated that the properties will be brought in compliance by September 22nd. That notice was signed for by Mr. Larson.
And the package will be received in evidence.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Go ahead.
What's next, Your Honor, is pictures of the property as it looks this morning. The old saying is it's got to get worse before it gets better, I think applies here. There's some progress been made about quite a bit of Debris has been removed from the house. There's been, as you can see by some of the pictures, there's bright orange spray paint that says demo at 231, which is usually indicative of a demolition contractor has been on the site and has marked it for his employees. The fencing has been taken down. A lot of vegetation has been taken down, and as such, it has exposed a lot more blight than what could originally be seen. However, there is indication to me with the demo painting on the side, is large equipment tracks over the property. There's line locates, it looks like, have been done on the property. So it looks to me like there's progress been made. However, it is not at this point in compliance.
All right. And who's here on behalf of the property owner? Anybody here on behalf of the property owner? Okay. All right. Would you state your full name, please, sir?
Yes, sir. Dustin Lucas.
What?
Dustin Lucas.
Dustin
Yes, sir.
Lucas, Lucas?
Yes, sir.
And what is your role in this?
Chris, Mr. Lawrence's son's my neighbor, but I own JEO Land Development, so and he's correct, we are doing, the demo is actually in.
Your company's doing the demo?
Yes, sir.
All right, sure, go ahead.
We're in the process of doing the demo. The actual permits were actually done yesterday. I'm just waiting on a letter from the actual well guy to say that, for the capping of the well, and then I can actually pick up the permits, and we will be mobilizing immediately to get the thing done.
All right, when do you anticipate you'll have the work done?
I plan on getting the letter today or tomorrow, and then picking up the permit first day next week, and probably mobilizing the middle of the week next week. So no more than 3 weeks, sir, we should be done.
All right, so the only permit you're waiting on right now is the well capping permit.
Yes, sir.
You won't need any other permits after
They're
that?
already pulled. That's what I mean. I have brought this, or here's
That's all right, I don't know.
it's the signed proposal, and it's also the sub that I used for the demo work, saying that yesterday that that's all they're waiting for, and that they plan on mobilizing immediately after that. So.
All right.
And this has been in the works, sir, for some. But pulling the permits and everything else, yes, sir, it's taken. We had to pull a demo permit on top of the well permit as well.
Well, I do need a date a safe date for completion. Because I am going
safety, why?
I want to know when it's going to really be done.
Well,
because I'm going to provide in my order that if it's not done by that date, it's going to start doing fines. So I need a date that you ought to really intend to meet.
30 days?
All right, we can do that. That'd be 30 days from today. I assume that would be, let's say, October 22.
Yes, sir.
I will set that as the date for completion, and not going to impose any fine at this point in time. But should it not be complete by October 22, I may well seriously consider imposing a fine.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while now.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Your Honor, if I may?
Yes.
I just need to remind the respondents that part of the violation was that all debris be removed from the property and also any high growth that's on the property. So that when on October 22nd, when the gentleman leaves the property, it should be all the structure should be removed, all debris should be removed, and there should be no high growth, uncultivated growth over 18 inches high or grass over 12 inches high on the property.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that was the finding in my last order. Yeah.
No,
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anything else to come before the magistrate today? All right. We stand adjourned.
Yeah,